Hey beauty, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I'll be going over the top 7 fragrances in my perfume collection that I feel would be perfect for this Valentine's Day. So these are my top Valentine's Day fragrances for women. If you're interested in seeing what they are, then please stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to jump into these fragrances with you. I hope you are doing amazing. And to those of you who are new here, on this channel, I make videos on lifestyle, luxury, I do review videos, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of my motherhood journey and my personal life in my monthly vlogs. So if those things sound interesting to you, then I think you would love it here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. We are going to just jump right in. I'm going to try to start with fragrances that I feel you could wear during the daytime, then those that you can wear day or night, and then we'll end with the strictly nighttime fragrances. Obviously, you can wear your fragrances whenever you want. I know I do. Whenever I'm in the mood for a fragrance, I don't let the time of day dictate whether I wear it or not. So these are just suggestions on the time of day you could possibly wear these things. Also, I know not everyone is celebrating Valentine's Day, so really this video is just for fun. You can take these suggestions for any time of the year, really, when you are feeling extra loved or you're loving on yourself and you just want to wear something that smells feminine. So with all that said, let's jump in. So my first fragrance is Louis Vuitton's Attrape Rêve. This fragrance is the quintessential put together pretty girl scent. This smells so pretty. It has peony. I think it has like lychee or rhubarb in it at the top. It has a cacao note, which is a soft powdery cacao. And it has a very prominent patchouli note. The patchouli is very soft around the edges. It's not a patchouli that's very harsh or in your face. It just helps this to last a long time. This is a fragrance that lasts a very long time. And now that we are in the colder months, I feel like a fragrance like Attrape Rêve is perfect because it's going to hang on. It's going to hang on to whatever you spray it on. And it has the most beautiful sillage. It just sits in the air so beautifully. It's long lasting. This is a woman who has on a very crisp and clean outfit. Her hair is super neat and she is just super confident, very elegant, and she exudes a softness that we sometimes associate with femininity. So that's what this fragrance is. This is the perfect fragrance for like a brunch, a morning date, anything during the daytime that you might want to do on Valentine's Day. I feel like Attrape Rêve is going to be perfect. And this is probably what I'm going to reach for during the daytime on Valentine's Day because this was actually gifted to me by my husband on a special occasion. So it's a very special occasion type of fragrance and I love it. So my next daytime fragrance is one that I'm absolutely in love with. This fragrance has my heart, and that is Carolina Herrera's Very Good Girl. This is flirty, it's playful, it's fun, it's bright, it's exuberant, yet it evokes a very sexy confidence. And I feel like the woman who wears this is not going to be someone that looks unapproachable. She's very approachable. She is very bright. She has a pep in her step. She's very confident, but the sexiness is still there. So this is the perfect fragrance for daytime, anything you can think of. And this woman is also not necessarily taken. She may be single, okay? Because this is such a fun fragrance and this woman is not tied down to conventional things. She is very confident and she knows where she's going in life. And this is just a perfect fragrance to exude all of those things. This is one that I gravitate towards very often. And it is also one that men like, according to my anecdotal evidence and the anecdotal evidence of lots of women that do review this fragrance. I know my husband really enjoys this fragrance. And so this is one that I do think men like. I think the DNA is a very likable, approachable DNA. It's very similar to Parfum de Marly's Delina, which is also loved by a lot of people, very mass appealing. So yes, I think this fragrance is going to be perfect. It's a perfect choice for Valentine's Day this year for all of these reasons. And And this is one that just makes me happy. It's very bright. It dries down to a really sweet, vanillic, fruity fragrance. And I just love it. I think it has like this tartness, this juicy tartness at the top, and then it starts to get warmer and sweeter. It's not like an ambery fragrance. It remains very sweet on the dry down. It just loses some of that brightness on the dry down, but you still get that fruitiness. You get that sweet vanilla. There's a vetiver in here, but it doesn't like, it's not in your face or anything like that. Like in La Belle, Jean Paul Gaultier's La Belle, the vetiver in here is very different. It's just more of a grounding, supporting note that doesn't get in the way of the gorgeousness that is this fragrance. So this is my second option. This is Carolina Herrera's Very Good Girl. So my next fragrance is the quintessential uber girly fragrance, and that is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Pink PP. This is such a beautiful white floral fragrance. It is so girly, so feminine, and I absolutely love the way the notes are balanced in here. This is a white floral fragrance, but it's a very vanillic. It has a really sweet undertone, but it's definitely a floral fragrance. So if you love your white floral fragrances, this is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day. I know for me, Donna Born in Roma Intense was a little too sharp, a little too heady, a little too serious, if you will, and this one is the perfect combination. It sits right in the middle of the original Donna Born in Roma and the Donna Born in Roma Intense. I feel like they nailed it with this fragrance. It's the perfect combination of the sweet elements of the original Donna Born in Roma, but this one classes it up a little bit, makes it a little less sweet, makes it more wearable. For me, the original sometimes could get a little nauseating for me, and so this one is like the perfect combo of everything the original was and everything the Intense was meant to be, in my opinion. So this is the perfect daytime fragrance. This could even transition into the evening. It is so elegant. I think this lasts a very good amount of time as well. And I forgot to mention that Very Good Girl lasts moderately and projects moderately, and this one does as well, although I feel like this one lasts a little bit longer than Very Good Girl. So this is the perfect transitional fragrance, and it is so good. It's so classy, so feminine, yet playful at the same time. I don't know, this woman, I feel like she's very classy, very elegant. She loves everything timeless. This fragrance gives off sexy, but in a different way, in a more serious and classy way. But you know, she's playful as well when she needs to be, but she means business when she needs to be. So yeah, I love this fragrance. Honestly, I don't know, I might wear this during the day on Valentine's Day. I might wear this, I don't know. This is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Pink PP. My next fragrance is Viktor & Rolf's Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. Ruby Orchid is a fragrance that to me is like a peach nectar. It's very fruity, it's very sweet, it's syrupy, it's a slightly floral. There's an orchid in here, but the orchid just balances this fragrance, and it's just a gorgeous fragrance. If you don't like very sweet fragrances, then you might not want to go for this because it's sweet. It's probably one of the sweetest that I've shown so far, and I think that the sweetness is why this is great for Valentine's Day evening, especially if you're on a date, because the syrupy essence and the sweetness of this fragrance helps it to really sit in the air, and it has a presence. It will last all night long, and it's very intoxicating. This is one of those fragrances that people are going to compliment you and want to know what you have on. And also, again, this is one that my spouse really enjoys, so I think this is the perfect kind of transitional fragrance. You would wear it early evening into the late evening. I think this could be worn on a date night. I think it's perfect. If you want to layer it with something else, you definitely could, but I think this could be worn on its own. And this is a fragrance that I absolutely love. Not too much more to say about this one. This is playful, this is sexy, this is very feminine, very sweet, very alluring, and quite intoxicating because you're gonna want to know what this person has on. So this is Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid by Viktor & Rolf. Y'all, I almost forgot one of my oldies but goodies, one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. This is one of those fragrances you would wear cozied up at home. This is the perfect snuggle up fragrance, and this is Burberry Her Elixir. I don't know how I almost forgot this fragrance, but this fragrance is soft, it's cozy, it's feminine, it's sweet, it's powdery, it's elegant, it's all of the above. And I absolutely love reaching for this at home when I'm cozied up. My husband loves this one. It's just so soft and girly and feminine, and it evokes this essence of just sweet softness. I've said it before, but this makes me feel like and think of having a really soft satin or silk blanket against my skin. This is a sweet, creamy fragrance done right. I love the blend of notes in this fragrance because you get that sweetness, you get that fruitiness, yet there's a creaminess in the background. But it's not a creaminess that's like dense. It's not like super dense or heavy. It's a very light and soft creaminess. So I love Burberry Her Elixir. I think this is the perfect fragrance for really any time of day on Valentine's Day. And I think the color of the bottle, this light pink color, matches the scent that's inside to a T. So this is Burberry Her Elixir, and this is another one that I think could transition from day to night. You can do this for brunch as well, and then you can wear it into the evening. You can pair it with something else in this video, and then you can wear it to bed after your shower. So this is amazing. I love this fragrance. So my next fragrance is Mani Casanad by Navitas and Sharita. I wanted to talk about this fragrance because this fragrance could be worn on its own, but it can also be layered with every single thing I mentioned here. This just adds an element of sweetness. It adds an edible component to any fragrance, but it can be worn on its own and it shines on its own. This projects so nicely. It has a beautiful sillage and it lasts a very long time. When paired with one of these other fragrances, you're going to get max performance. Your fragrance is going to last all night long and you're going to smell absolutely delicious. This would go really well with Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid because it's going to add an extra element of vanilla and sweetness to Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. I would probably spritz this on first and Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid on afterwards. Like I said, this can be worn by itself and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a vanilla fragrance that smells like an open container of ice cream to my nose. It has a sweetness, but the sweetness is balanced by some sort of saltiness, which I'm assuming is the toffee note in here. But to my nose, it smells like dulce de leche ice cream, where it's sweet, but it has a little bit of saltiness, so it never gets too sweet. I also really love the woody component in this fragrance because I feel like that elevates it, makes it an elevated, grown up, very sophisticated, sexy vanilla fragrance. So Mani Casanad has quickly become one of my top fragrances in my collection. It's one that I love so much, makes me so happy, brings me so much joy. And so this is definitely something I would pair with a nighttime fragrance for Valentine's Day because this is sweet, delectable, it's sexy, it's just a beautiful gourmand fragrance, and I highly recommend this for Valentine's Day. This is Mani Casanad by Navitas and Sharita. The next fragrance that I would recommend highly is another one that you can layer, another vanilla, and it's so elegant and classy. This fragrance is just a masterpiece. It's so beautifully done. And it's a vanilla fragrance. If you can guess what fragrance I'm talking about before I show it, drop it down in the comment section. But the fragrance I'm talking about is Maison Mataha's Escapade Gourmand. This fragrance is absolutely stunning. This is such a beautiful fragrance and so unique in the way that it is done. I love that this fragrance is very sweet. It's reminiscent of a very custard-like dessert like creme brulee. It's very cozy, it's very warm, it's intoxicating, yet it never gets too heavy. It's quite airy in my opinion. It's a fragrance that never gets too dense or too thick, and I love that about this fragrance. I think they did that beautifully in here. This is also quite long lasting and it has a beautiful sillage for the first few hours. People will smell you as you walk by. When I first wore this, I thought that no one could smell me, but my husband told me he could smell this on me all around the house as I walked by. And later that day, hours later, he could still smell it on me as I walked by. So this actually does in fact have a really beautiful projection and sillage. And I love that. I love that it's not doing too much, but you can smell it. It has a presence. I think that if you do not have this in your collection and you could save up and splurge on one perfume, do yourself a favor and get this, especially if you love a vanilla fragrance. This is beautiful. This is also perfect for layering, and so yeah, I think this is great to layer with any of the fragrances I mentioned in this video. So this is more of an honorable mention for this one. This is something I would layer with my daytime fragrances to just add a bit of sweetness, a bit of vanilla. I think this would be perfect for those daytime fragrances. So this is Maison Montaha's Escapade Gourmand. My last fragrance is one that I've recently added to my collection. This is such a stunner. It blew me away and I'm obsessed. I'm probably going to try to find as many reasons as I can to wear this fragrance. I could think of none other fragrance as the perfect nighttime fragrance in my collection. And mind you, I don't have too many femme fatale type of fragrances, and this is one of those, okay? So this is Jury by Kajal. Jury is just a stunner. Jury is a stunner for sure. If you don't like a heavy rose or a very prominent rose, but you don't mind rose, if you like a honey fragrance, a very realistic and sweet honey, if you enjoy deeper scents, if you love a good deep scent, then you will probably really enjoy this. As you can see, the packaging is dark with red touches and there's a rose at the top. And I feel like the packaging describes the juice almost perfectly. This fragrance starts out a little spicy, so it's like a warm, spicy fragrance. When I first spray this on, I get that nutmeg, and then it starts to develop into those florals. I do get that rose almost right away, and then I start getting the ylang ylang that's in here. And that floral, the ylang ylang, has like this banana-like essence and facet. It's almost as if you're smelling a ripe banana when you smell that note, and that is what I get at the mid of this fragrance. This develops into the most beautiful honeyed base. And it does have a patchouli in here, I think, but the patchouli is almost non-existent to my nose. For me, when I spray this, I get a warm spicy, and then I start getting florals and honey almost right away. I feel like this is a beautiful honey fragrance. If you love honey, if you love a good floral fragrance, if you're not into heavy florals, heavy roses, this is a gorgeous fragrance, perfect for this time of year when it's cold, because this is going to hold on to your clothing, hold on to your skin. This has a bold presence to it, but it's not offensive, and you can kind of control the type of presence you get with this fragrance simply by how much you spray. So 3 to 4 sprays, you're good. If you want to go beast mode, you can do more sprays than that, and this will give you beast mode, okay? So for me, I like to do like 4 sprays and I'm good. But this is a fragrance that I think is such a beautiful performer, super long lasting, really projects, really has a beautiful sillage, a very present sillage the first 4 hours. And I absolutely love this fragrance. I'm obsessed with it. It's one of the newest ones to my collection, and this is the perfect Valentine's Day date night fragrance, a femme fatale fragrance. This woman is very bold, very confident, very sexy, and she just knows what she wants. And I think that when you wear this, it's going to exude all of those things. And for that, I think it's the perfect evening fragrance for Valentine's Day. Now, the interesting thing about this fragrance is I also think more than one woman could wear this. Even if you're a more reserved and demure and maybe timid woman, you could definitely wear this because it's going to boost your confidence. It's going to amp it up. And for me, I'm somewhere in between. And so this is the type of fragrance I wear when I want to feel bolder and feel sexy and just feel super confident. So yes, this is Jury by Kajal, one of my new loves, and I would highly recommend this. Joma Shop has this fragrance, and I will link this fragrance down below for you all. I think this is a stunner for this time of year. This is Jury by Kajal. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you are still here, don't forget to hit the like button. And also, if you enjoy these kinds of videos, I make content like this all the time. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also turn on that notification bell so you never miss another video. So I know this video is a Valentine's Day themed video, but as I mentioned in the beginning, celebrating a holiday like Valentine's Day is not restricted to couples. I know we have our preconceived notions about the holiday. We have a picture in our mind when we think about the holiday, but this Valentine's Day, I want to remind you to love on yourself. I know for me, loving on myself has really changed the game for my life. When I started to tap into my creator, I started to understand what God says about me, the sacrifice that Jesus made for me on the cross. That's when I really began to uncover who I truly was and really love myself the way I deserve to be loved. And so love starts with loving yourself. And I want you to remember that this Valentine's Day, tapping into who you are and loving yourself is the first step to attracting love from others. So just remember that this Valentine's Day. I know that I will be keeping that to heart over here. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Mwah. Bye.